Hey, Hip Hop Boulevard's in the house. Make sure you share the show. The link just came up on YouTube. It came up on Facebook. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Yes, indeed. You are now tuned in to Hip Hop Boulevard. This show we do it every other Sunday. We got special guests in the house and everything. Hey, Al, did you get the link? Say what?
Right now, I'm sharing that stuff.
All right, that's right. Share the show up. We're here right now. We got special guests in the house today and everything. It's crazy. Once again, make sure you share the link. Rock Logic's at the board today. Be here for most of the day. I'm parked illegally. I'm on the sidewalk, y'all. But it's all right. I know the dude that owns the garage. Come on. And we got a lot of music to play today, too. So make sure you guys are sharing the show. The Hip Hop Boulevard intro is up right now. We're in the house. Big shout out to my man, Eddie Rivera. And if you're in the room, please say hello, say hello, say hello, say hello. Let me see you in the chat. Don't just troll me out. Let me know that you're there. We are now live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. And we are live on Twitch right now. Everything happening simultaneously at the same time. Make sure you share the show. We're here, y'all. Woo, and it was a cold ass weekend too. I don't know where y'all was at Friday night, but Friday night froze my ass off. Went to a comedy show, a comedy up in Harlem. Big shout out to Nikki Sunshine for hosting us. Big shout out to DOA, and big shout out to Yvonne Stickney, Phyllis Yvonne Stickney, and that was incredible. So it was good, you know what I'm saying? It was a good night. And I'm gonna hit the button, but as I hit the button, I'm gonna play this new joint that's kind of crazy. You might not be ready for this. Hold on. As soon as this track ends, and I'm going into it, cause I got something crazy for you. It's wild, y'all. It's wild. Word up. It goes like this. Big shout out to my man MC Globe in the house. What's up? Big shout out to Mark. Boots 119 is watching. It's happening right now. This is That's Who We Are.
Let's go.
Come on.
1520 Cedric, the birthplace of hip hop was selected. The birth of hip hop was so electric, it shocked everybody like electric. DJs and MCs was injected, breakdancing graffiti was injected. Blocks and neighborhoods got infected and built this culture and style perfected. We crossed the line, mixed the race, being scared was replaced. Souls and crews made the moves, became street leaders. Hip hop leaders. We did it our way, flooded the air with every street, wall and train.
Once again, big shout out to my man MC Globe in the house.
Grace with the neighborhoods,
GLOB is here.
Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop.
Make sure you share the show.
Hop, hip hop, Boulevard. Hip hop, hip hop, Boulevard.
Come on.
Hip hop, Boulevard.
Big shout out to Peso.
ESO 131, second to none. Here to
Big shout out to Peso for this one.
I'm a hot dog, I watch you shaking the buzz. Last on the line, but one of the best.
Yeah, Peso from the Fearless 4, y'all.
That's right, y'all. Get it right. If you don't know, I'm a Harlem Night.
Come on.
And cheese, collard greens, spicy fried chicken when I'm on the scene. A hard act to follow from here to Apollo. Dubbed and short the sport, I'm New York.
Yeah, it's going down right here, right now. And we about to hit the button because we are live. Thank you for tuning in on the chat.
One-stop shop, you feel me? Have a nice day, cause we started from the partner on the top of the list. We bragging on this, we tagging on this, we swagging on this.
Globe is working on a big project too.
We can never be dissed. We went from no name to fame street name.
Big shout out to my man, the Cutman LG.
Hip hop the game, the fashion.
Rocky Buchanan Hip Hop Museum.
Hip hop. hop, hip hop, hip hop.
And we are Boardwalk Global Media.
Hop, hip hop, Boulevard, hip hop.
Big shout out to Comedy in Harlem.
Boulevard, hip hop, hip hop, Boulevard. I like the crowd loud, demanding more hip hop. I keep it coming, hip hop that don't stop.
This record is so crazy.
Thousands of colors, giving birth to dreams to many senses of brother. For five birds of world, why getting up and stay high, looking good and stay fly, get on high like fish fry. This how we do, this how we live. Hip hop Boulevard, we is what we is. Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop Boulevard.
He really used Poison.
Hip hop, hip
Killed it.
Boulevard. Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop Boulevard. Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop Boulevard. Hip hop.
Every rapper in the city should get on this one.
Hop Boulevard, hip hop, hip hop, hip hop.
They should all get a verse like Self-Destruction.
Hop, hip hop Boulevard, hip hop Boulevard.
Once again, Rock Logic's in the building. What's up, y'all? Good to see you in the chat room. And we're here and we live right now. And we're here doing the Hip Hop Boulevard, the conversation, which we do every other weekend, every other Sunday with my man Al Pizarro. Gary Fax is in the building. You know, Ty Dre, whenever Ty Dre comes back, you know what I'm saying? But everybody, you know, we all family, you know what I'm saying? Everyone can't make it every week. But when we do get a chance to do it, then it's kind of dope. This week was pretty big for Boardwalk Global Media. It was me, Tasha, Robin, Gary, Renee, Grandmaster Kaz's wife. It was about 8 or 9 of us, and we showed out at the Comedy in Harlem, which is a club over on 117th Street. And Yvonne Stickney, who plays Mrs. Hawkins in New Jack City, she's also a comic and she's an activist, but she's a comic. She has very intelligent comedy. So we brought like 8 or 9 tickets, and we gave her official Boardwalk Global Media merchandise. We gave her a mug. We gave her 3 T-shirts. No, we gave her a hoodie and 2 T-shirts, and it has a name on the back that says Stickney on the back. So we did that, and that was great. So we had a good time. You know what I'm saying? But it's about that time to turn the show over to my man, you know what I'm saying, and the host with the most, my guy, Al Pizarro.
Yo, Rock, what are we doing, bro? What are we doing? We cutting business deals here.
Right here behind the scenes.
Bro.
Right here behind the scenes is happening.
Let me tell you something. What I love is the energy that we bring in and what we put out, because as soon as these 2 fantastic guests arrive, they drop a bomb on us, and we come back and say, let's reiterate, let's change it up, can we do this? And now the soup is being made. We're cooking.
We are cooking right now. You better believe that. It's all happening. That's how it goes down. So Al, talk about it. What's happening?
Yo, you know what? We're going to talk about Raheem.
Oh, word? Okay.
We're going to talk about Raheem. I sent you some stuff on the email. Raheem, I salute you.
Big shout out.
Yo.
And that's Raheem from the Furious 5,
There
right?
you go. First thing is, he's all over the rehearsal for the Grammys. And Rock, you know what hat he's wearing? The Hip Hop Boulevard hat.
Oh, wow. That is crazy. Yo. On the Grammys. Come on, man.
There is nothing that I can say but salute, Raheem. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You know, and not for nothing, Raheem, watch, because I got you. I really, really, see, everybody was hitting me up with that photo and just photos. They kept on photo after photo after photo. And I was like, Raheem is killing it right now. Everybody go, Al, your boy's in the Grammy. They got the Hip Hop Boulevard hat. I said, that's Raheem, my dude.
Representing.
Big
shout out to Raheem for sure. That is incredible. I got to give him some flowers.
I know Rock gonna do his magic once he gets these photos on. Because I'm sending him some stuff. We got some stuff today.
Yeah. I know you got a lot of stuff going on. You know, come on, man. You ain't been here in 2 weeks, so I know you're ready to rock and roll. So
Man, look.
I'm here with it. Big shout out to Larry Leviathan, here supporting Coast and Leia, major artists. He's right there. Most Hated Entertainment. What's the number to call in?
That's Snoop.
Okay, there you go. All right, so we got Snoop in the house. What's up, baby? Soup. S-O-U-P.
And Snoop is from the whole DMX family and all that.
Word. Okay.
So,
all right.
and he used to run the pool for me and all that kind of stuff.
Got you. He goes back to the Short Shot record pool.
The VIP record
VIP record pool. My bad. Come on. I'm old.
I'm sorry, I own 2 record pools.
Oh, I'm like, you did own Short Shot. Am I wrong? Or?
No, absolutely.
Okay, all right, okay. All right, my bad. Okay, I just want to make sure. I was feeling kind of wacky at that. I'm like, did I just fuck up and talk about the competition? No, Al's his own competition. As you, that's how that goes. So what's shaking with you?
I always do this at the end, but since I'm wearing this, we're not going to tell everybody what it is, but I know Rock already said, I want one.
Automatic. Gotta have
Look,
it. That's, come on, man.
Look, you can see the back.
Yeah, you can see the back.
50 years of hip hop. 1973 to 2023. And this is what I'm gonna say. We have our guests here, and we have Gary here. We have everybody's in the house, right? So they could give you an opinion of what they've seen without saying what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, you want me to give an
Yeah,
opinion?
go ahead. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, dope. There you go. That's it. That's my opinion. It's dope, and I have to have it, and I'm gonna wear it proudly because that hat is hot. And for me, it represents, obviously something dear to my heart, which is hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't there for the whole 50, but I was there for 46 of them. You know what I'm saying? So I was there in the beginning. So I gotta have that. That hat is hot. What you got, Gary? Yo?
Classic. It's something that could be very classic.
Yeah, I think that's going to be something for the ages right there. I really do.
And women can rock it too.
Can women rock it out?
Absolutely.
Women can rock
Women
it.
can rock it.
And you know what? What's beautiful about this? It represents everybody,
Yeah, and that's dope.
and that's good. So let's let's introduce our guests, and then I'm going to go into a different subject right quick before they start, because they're extensive.
Okay.
They're
okay.
very deep.
It's a
They
lot.
do a lot of things.
Okay.
And not just in New York, Rob. Not just in New York.
Okay. Special guest, the camera's on you.
Oh,
Go.
hey. I'm Leah Sands. And I'm a New York City artist,
Okay.
currently living and residing here.
Okay. Now, when you say artist, are you a music artist, a painting artist? What type of artist are you?
So I do painting. I also mix sculptures with paintings. That's basically what my mediums are.
Okay. Dope. How long have you been painting and doing art?
I've been doing art all my life. I've been, since I was old enough to pick up a crayon and start drawing on the walls, because my parents never stopped me.
Right. Right.
When you're a kid, you pick up a crayon, a pen, you start drawing on the walls, and most parents are like,
They whip
no,
your ass."
don't do that. You get a butt whooping, that's for
Exactly.
sure. But no, my parents were like, here's some paper.
Right.
This is where you go, and you can draw as much as you want here. So
Yeah, I let
that's
my
what they
shit.
did.
I let my shit get totally out of hand. My kids drew all over the walls. My
Right.
apartment looked absolutely bananas. Like they'd get on the couch and go up high, and just one day I looked at it, and people would walk in my house and be like, "What the fuck's going on?" I'm supporting their art. I'm supporting their art. That's all I'm doing.
You supporting the art.
I find it. So where are you from originally, by the way?
So originally, I'm from Fort Myers, Florida.
Okay.
That's where I grew up. I'm born in Florida. That's where I grew up.
Okay.
That's where I was raised. But after that, being in Florida, I was always influenced by New York culture.
Okay.
Because I don't know if you guys probably know this, but they kind of consider Florida like the 6th borough of New York. Yeah, because everybody from New York goes to Florida when
absolutely.
they retire, right?
Yeah.
So my whole growing up, I was influenced by everything from New York, whether it was art, dancing, the music, just everything. Because when you're from Florida, you're in a rural area. Like, you're not in a big city. You got to take a car to go just to the grocery store. It's not like here where you could just walk down the street and you're right to everything you need. So you got to travel, you got to get to places, and it's just a process. They don't got trains down there like you guys got here. They got freight trains, but not like subway trains and this and that. So when people back then, they were doing art, they were doing it on the buildings, they were doing it on the freight trains that were traveling from New York to Florida.
Right.
But there was no, and buses, like that was a thing. Like they were doing buses and stuff. So, me growing up, and I loved music because my parents were really big into music. They, my dad was like country and rock and roll, and my mother was soul and disco. So I had the plethora from both sides that, and mainly hip hop came into my life when my mother came up to New York to like visit friends and whatever. She hit the Roxy with her friends.
There we go. There we go.
That was
No
like,
wine and cheese there.
No. That was early 80s. She came up to visit family and friends. She hit the Roxy, and that's where she heard, she heard Planet Rock. She heard, she came a few different times. That's family being here. She heard Soul Sonic Force. She heard Run DMC. Like, she just heard LL Cool J. Like, she just...
Yeah, she
like that was just her thing. Like all of a sudden she went from disco and then like this to hip hop, and she was like, she brought it down to Florida for us anyway. She was the one that brought it down to me. So when she brought it down, I was like,
what is
this, Mom? And she was like, yeah, I love this music. You gotta hear it. You gotta hear it. So she played it all the time. And,
which, by the way, Globe is in the house actually from Soul Sonic Force. He's actually watching, so he's actually hearing the story.
Globe is my fam. Hi, Globe. And I don't know if you guys know this, but today is Globe's birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Globe!
Word.
Yeah. So Globe is a really awesome guy. He actually, like I said, he's one of the people that has come full circle in my life because, like I said, when my mom went to Roxy, that was one of the first songs she heard because that was a big hit back then. And she brought it home, and from that point on, like that's been like my party jam from like since I was a child.
Sure.
Like that. You can't tell me nothing about that song.
Yeah, Planet Rock started a lot of music genres.
Planet Rock is like so classic.
Well, I mean, the whole Miami bass, right? That came from Planet Rock.
Exactly.
That's all Planet Rock.
Exactly. Well, Miami bass sound came from Planet Rock. Freestyle music came from Planet Rock.
Right.
Like even a lot of newer sounds from like rock and different other genres of music like techno and everything. They all have that same Planet Rock
thing.
track, that beat, that the laydown of it, to break it down.
Right.
So yeah, I'm just really glad to be here, and I also got some tea to spill you about Globe and Shot Rock.
Oh yeah, we need some tea.
We're getting an exclusive
Oh,
here.
we got tea on this show. I'm gonna ask you a wild question. How old is your mom?
So my mom is 64.
Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah. So she kind of got into hip hop late, actually. Her being, but not really late, right? She's kind of She's in.
She was like in the
early
80s.
Early
yeah.
80s. Yeah. Right. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. That's crazy.
When
Yeah.
you were talking about the Roxy, back then, Africa Islam and Jazzy J used
Were
to DJ.
DJing.
They were DJing at the Roxy.
Yes.
So she really got it.
She really got it. She was like, when I was older, obviously back then I wasn't young enough to really understand like the complexity and the diversity of this all. But when she was, I just remember her saying, you know what, this is going to be really big.
That's what your mom said?
My mom loves music.
Wow, okay,
she's
okay.
really big into music. My dad was in a rock and roll band back in the day. Like he played high school band. He still plays guitar. So like my family's very musically involved and artistically involved. So with that being said, I did a lot of dancing, which is what Al says. There's a lot of layer to this because I used to do backup dancing too back in the day with hip hop artists and freestyle artists. Back then, they didn't travel with their dancers because they didn't have the money to do so. So they hired outside sources to do so in different states that they were going. So that's kind of like where I come in on that part too.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Al, you have anything you want to ask her? Because I'll just keep going. So.
You have a partner with this, right?
Oh yeah, so I do have a partner with this. So my man, my guy, my other half in this is Coast TDS.
Dun, 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 dun.
Coast in the house.
So Coast TDS is a graffiti artist, aerosol artist from back in the days, from like about 1979 up until the present. And he's here to tell his story as well. He's with the TDS crew, which is the Death Squad, which was like one of the major graffiti crews back in the day. And he's here and he's living it up and he's doing his thing, and we're both building this together. So we're happy to be here.
That is dope.
Look, graffiti in the house, and I thought it was appropriate to do 50 years of hip hop for this show, which I think we're gonna name quite a few shows, and we'll break it down so the audience will know exactly what we're talking about. But the graffiti portion was before hip hop, so everybody understands.
Yes.
They were tagging before hip hop, but it was part of the hip hop culture because the hip hop culture was everything combined. These graffiti artists were doing flyers and stuff like that for some of the DJs and promoters in order to get people to go to some of these events, because they were park events and they were house events and they were community centers. Anywhere where we could get people in, we were getting them in.
Right. That's right.
So it's important that we talk about this element, that we expand on it, and we let people know that this whole hip hop game it spans in different areas where she's done some incredible things and Coast has done some incredible things. They went to Paris recently. They've done galleries. I mean, Rock, we have the cream of the top here when it comes to graffiti artists right here, right now.
Word. I love that.
But that's what we bring to the show. We bring the best of the best.
The best of the best of the best of the best of the best. That's it. So, Coast, I'm gonna ask you this. I know you're off screen, but I'm gonna ask you kind of off screen. How long have you been doing graffiti?
Like my other half just said, I began in 1979.
Okay. So were you tagging up on the trains and stuff? Did you do that whole thing, the
In
layups? and everything?
1979, I started out in the streets. In the streets in my neighborhood. I was called the street bomber. I didn't go on the trains until 1981.
Okay.
That's when I began vandalizing New York City Transit.
Right. I like to use the word vandalizing, right? Because, I mean, for all intents and purposes, it was vandalism, right?
Back then.
But that turned into art, right? That turned into moving art. I mean, when you would see those pieces, I can
That's
remember
right.
waiting to see, you know, a piece come past on the 5 train and to see who did it, like Dondi and those guys that were doing all these big pieces. It was artwork for us. It was street artwork. It was artwork in motion, you know. And maybe we didn't know it back then. And of course, the powers that be at the time, they weren't hip hop, right? They were the adults, right? They were the adults. Yeah. They were the adults. So
They were corporate adults.
right,
You know?
and they had nothing to do with what we were doing in the streets and the turntables and all that. So everything about hip hop was vandalism. Everything, right? The DJ plugging up to the pole was vandalism, right? That's how we got the electricity.
We didn't get a permit for sound.
We didn't get no sound permit. So everything about hip hop was really vandalism, really. You know what I'm saying? When you really think about it, and it didn't even dawn on me until he used that word. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I think about it, I'm like, shit, no, we didn't get no sound permits. We stole electricity from the light pole.
Right.
We would just set up, and then the graffiti would happen, and we break out some cardboard or no cardboard so they could break dance. Like, we created a club in the middle of the street, basically. You know what I'm saying? We just started block parties, like whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, you're right, Al. Yeah, for sure.
So think about this. Graffiti was before hip hop. Now, when hip hop started, and you guys are doing flyers and getting involved with these hip hop events and all that, did you think at that time that your pieces were going to be historically valuable now? Anything you did back then now has value.
Right.
Because, Sotheby's and, they're doing auctions on this stuff right now.
That's right.
So do you guys have any inclination that maybe that might be a remote possibility?
I didn't have no clue, not a clue. I was just a teenager having fun, being a rebel against society, because we were not allowed in art galleries.
Right.
So we created our own art form, and we created our own canvases, which was subways.
Right.
We just beautified the subways. The powers that be call us vandalists. you know, and they didn't recognize us, you know, for what we really were, which was artists that
Right.
were committing like a cathartic activity, you know, releasing our emotions, you know, and that's the way, you know, human beings, you can't hold a human being down. A human being is gonna find a way.
Especially not teenagers. You
We're
can't
gonna
stop
find a way.
teenagers. We're gonna find a way
Gotta
all
find
day.
a way.
You know what I'm
We're gonna
saying?
find a way.
I think during that time, I don't think any of us realized that we were writing history.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? History's written every day. And I don't think at that time that we really realized that everybody that was participating in this vandalism, right, that we were literally writing history. We were writing music history. We were writing art history. We were writing dance history on a few small city blocks. And those small blocks turned into a worldwide phenomenon. You can't go to a country where they're not breakdancing. You can't go to a country where they're not graffitiing. You can't go to a country where they're not DJing or rapping. And that started on one block, really, right? 1523 Cedric Avenue. So I don't think any of us really knew what we were doing, right?
Nobody had a clue.
Yeah.
Nobody had a clue. But the beauty of it is that when this started, it was all about us having some fun, you know, all working together, and there was no infighting. There was no, you know, that crab-like mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were all just, bro, who didn't want to go to a party, dance, and paint up or draw up and anything?
Right.
We were doing everything we wanted to do.
Yeah.
Teenagers having fun.
Teenagers having
created
fun.
this culture.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I love about it, you know, and you're not going to see that ever again. You know what I'm saying? Definitely not in this lifetime.
Nope.
You know, where a music genre is created from other music, right? Because that's what
And
happened.
by kids.
And by kids, right? Other than that, I mean, jazz is an original art form, but it derives from something else.
Right.
You know, rock and roll was created, you know, but this out of the blues. But this thing was created without instruments.
Yeah.
The turntable became the instrument.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your pad and your paper, that became the microphone and your voice, right? And the dancing and the graffiti. It was all, for lack of a better term, artistic expression at its best. You know what I'm saying?
So you know what, Rock? Now the thought just came into my head. Every show that we do, we're gonna bring a different hip hop element to the show.
Okay.
Different people to highlight them and talk about what their input was, what they think about the 50th anniversary of hip hop and all that kind of stuff. We're gonna give you a piece of hip hop every time we do the conversation. We're gonna give you a piece of hip hop. And today we're talking about art and graffiti and all that. And you have to really tell him about, or tell the audience about where you've been and what galleries you've done, so they could really understand the scope. Because I don't think they get the scope.
Yeah, we need all that.
Nice. So
Drop that T first.
Oh, so you want the tea?
Oh, of course we do. Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so the tea is that this is, you know, being that this is the 50th anniversary of hip hop. So a lot of the pioneers are coming out with some new music, which is awesome, and I'm so excited for all that, because the generation these days don't really know a lot about you know, hip hop from the 70s and even sometimes the early 80s, just because of you know, the age bracket that they're in. So it's great that everybody's celebrating this, and I can't wait to hear all the new music coming out. Like from LL, he's got some new stuff coming out. But also, MC Globe and Sha Rock have a new song coming out. I'm not allowed to say the name, and it is dropping soon, but I can't release the date. But they did do a song together. It's dropping soon. It's for the 50th anniversary of hip hop, and you guys are going to be blown away.
Do you know
That's
who produced
all I
that?
can say. I'm not allowed to say anything.
Hey, Rock. It's my show, bro. You know we do this. It's my show.
Listen, I'm figuring if this is what's going on based on the dynamic, I'm probably going to have to go and mix the records. That's all I'm saying.
And not only that, but MC Globe himself also has his own records coming out.
We actually played one of
Yeah.
his videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played one of his
Okay.
videos.
Yeah.
Okay. Secret, ding, ding. I record Globe's vocals, and I mix his records.
I know.
I mix his records.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? We do
But
it.
you know how we got to do this.
Yeah, we do it up in the studio. I mix his records. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have a good time. The one record that I remember mixing for him, which was really crazy, is during the pandemic. LG had a song called "Keep Your Distance," keep your, and we made that record during the pandemic. Right?
LG's a good guy.
And it was just so, I hear it now, and it's scary almost because they came to my house to pick me up, and we were all wearing masks in the car, and we were doing this thing, and we're hoping that because this was like smack dab in the middle of COVID. There was nobody in the streets, nothing. And then we went to the house, and LG recorded the, remember at 7 o'clock, they used to do the clank, 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 clank. Everyone would bang on their pots at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Well, LG recorded that and made that part of the song. And it's probably the most haunting part of the song because you know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we played that video for a while, actually. We actually played the video after he shot the video, which he shot it during the pandemic.
Yeah,
really
absolutely.
crazy.
Also, I believe LG and Globe did kind of like the song for the Hip Hop Museum, the hip hop.
Yeah.
Like that's their thing that they do too. So they're coming out with
Yeah, I mixed that one too.
Yeah, See, I know I'm giving you your things. I'm giving you your flowers, man. You know how we do. Got to give you your flowers where it's deserved.
I've been with LG a long time. I've
Yeah.
known LG since he was like 5.
Yeah.
Like, we grew up together, so.
Good people.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Globe I met later on. It's been cool. But so what else do you have going on? I need to get in depth with you. I want to know, where you been, where's your artwork, where you going. Y'all talk about so much stuff off camera. Then you'll get on camera and you don't say nothing. You'll get
Yeah,
shot.
we're like, what do we do?
Yeah. So let's talk about it.
So with Al, we'll talk about what we've done in the past, but with you, we can talk about what we're doing now. So we are, us together, we work together, myself and Coast TDS, with putting together art shows that incorporate hip hop.
Okay.
Not only hip hop from now, but also with pioneers of hip hop. Because we want, like I said before, we want the younger generation to know where hip hop comes from. Because if you don't know your basics, you're not going to know your lessons, right? So with this being said, we try to do things within the community, whether it's like helping with school supplies, and with Al, we try to work with Al with some of his events for like the back to school stuff and any of their events that they do at the middle schools, like in the Bronx and stuff like that, to help bring people out and just get the youngsters to understand, the basics of hip hop from the beginnings to now. And we're just trying to, elevate ourselves as well as artists, and in doing so, we just want everything to, like, our thing is we just want everybody to rise.
Right.
You come with us, we rise together. So that's what we do. With our art, I can tell you that we have some shows coming up. That Coast has an all-male show coming up in April from the 14th to the 15th at the Blue Gallery. They're going to have an artist talk as well, which we always incorporate art and hip-hop. I'm also going to have a show in June, which is going to be the 23rd and the 25th, and that's going to be an all-women's show that has to do with art and hip-hop. Also in April, we've been invited again from Grandmaster Kaz and his crew and Cora and everybody to do Grandmaster Kaz Day in the Bronx, so that's where we'll be on April 18th. And we're just working on future projects with Al and Lazarus the Top Don, who is a Bronx rapper, and ourselves to do works in Europe.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think Al mentioned earlier that we were in Europe last year in Paris, and we're building and building to do shows not only here in the U.S. for our art and music, but also in Europe. So that's what we're doing.
Nice.
I think the transition from trains, walls, paper flyers and all that to galleries and traveling different countries, not different cities, but different countries, is something that really, that I'm really so happy about what they do, because they go and they model for others that may not have even the thought of expanding in that area and going, can I go overseas and do this stuff? Can I make money from this stuff and all that? And for all the graffiti artists that are here listening, and to all those that will watch this later on, you can do anything that your mind can possibly think of. But it's easier to do it when you go and include people and join people, so you could get there faster. Because don't do this alone. I can't do this podcast without Rock. I can't do it without Gary. I can't have guests without Leah and Coast and all the people that are involved. We do it all together. Right. And our message is always going to be to unify, unite, and share information in order for you to grow. Because we all want to grow, but this is the 50th anniversary. Take advantage of it right now. If you're in this hip hop game in any capacity, and you have not or don't have you just don't see how you're going to get from A to B, reach out to people. And in that conversation, I want to talk about Nadine Muhammad Queen.
Okay, all right, let's go.
Well,
go ahead.
Let me just say, with the 50th anniversary, I think what people have to realize, with the support of the mayor's office and the governor's office, the eyes are on New York City. So you talk about international press and all of that happening throughout the year. So, anybody that has been involved in hip hop for the 50 years, this is the time to really tell your story and to get out there, because the whole world their eyes and press is going to be here. So there's an opportunity to do something and tell your story.
You're absolutely right. The one story that I do like is I love Kosa's story, because, in which I'm gonna, just he can tell for himself. But how do you go from being a street vandal and getting arrested, and then 40 years later, 30 years later, you're getting an award.
You become the mayor of New York.
You become the mayor of New York and you get an award for it.
Okay, that's my cue. This is why I come in now.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna self-disclose, brief. I come from a background of art. My dad gave me a sketch pad at around 7, 8 years old. I fell in love right away. So during my high school years, is when I began with the graffiti. I started writing in the neighborhood, then later on in the trains. But I stopped doing that. I went to prison. 1984, I caught a charge, went to prison for 4 years. I came home, I stopped doing graffiti, I started selling drugs, I started consuming drugs. I made a whole lot of bad choices. For 30 years, I was in the grips of addiction. 7 years ago, we'll fast forward 7 years ago, I decided to turn around, because I always knew that I was not going to die a drug addict. I knew that before I started doing, early in the days when I was doing drugs.
Before you even continue, man.
Absolutely.
So I made the choice to stop doing it. Stop destroying myself, stop hurting my loved ones. Because I was always the type of person that I'm not hurting nobody. But now when I look back in retrospect, I was hurting everybody. Anybody that loves you, when you're on drugs, you're hurting them. Even though you might not think you are. But, I made the choice. I became a drug counselor. First, I went to a drug program, rehab. Then I went to school, became a drug counselor. I was working in the field until the pandemic hit. And, I stopped working there, but I was already doing the art again. And I was painting canvases. And, 2 years in, I started thinking about I should start doing exhibits and exhibiting my work. And, it's been 6 years I've been doing the galleries and stuff. So now we're at a point, I met this beautiful woman at a gallery show in One Art Space in Tribeca, New York. And we were in the same group show together.
Nice.
And Now we're curating shows now. We've been to Europe. Our stuff is going to the masses now.
Yeah.
And I'm the type of person that I try to put value in. Now I don't try. I do put value in others because I know that the laws of attraction work. The universal laws of attraction, they really work. 'Cause
Very
I'm a
much
bookworm.
so.
That's another thing about me. She'll tell you I'm always reading all the time. Even during my addiction, I always read books. And that's what we're doing right now. Right now, we're just, we've got a lot of stuff going on. There's a couple of things she didn't say, but a lot of things are going on in our lives when it comes to the art. And let me just set one record straight about graffiti. We never called it graffiti. It was always when we saw each other, what you write. So we were writers.
That's right. Oh my God,
Graffiti
I feel old
comes
now.
from the powers that be.
That's right.
They called us vandals,
Yes.
but we were writers. That's what we called each other.
Right.
And
Wow.
another historic lesson that is my perspective, and I know there's a lot of others' perspective. Graffiti has been around, writing has been around since the caveman days. There's modern day graffiti, but it's been around since way back when. They used to call it cave art, but that's graffiti. There was writing on the walls, scratching on the pyramids of Egypt, the hieroglyphs. That's all
hieroglyphics,
graffiti.
right.
But here we are, and now we're making, it's a good thing that I'm making money now, doing what I love. I'm now the proud owner of a LLC, which is Coast TDS LLC, that my beautiful baby helped me put together.
Excellent.
I have a business account, and I'm curating shows, and I'm in the process of, doing some power moves. And things.
Someone that y'all need to get in touch with, and I probably could help with, is Monica Lynch. Monica Lynch used to be the president of Tommy Boy Records. She has I believe it's a partnership with Sotheby, one of those, because she's been doing some hip hop memorabilia, like selling stuff.
Nice.
And she's definitely a part of the culture, and I think that's something that I think could help you guys out.
That would be
greatly.
great. It'd be awesome to connect with her for sure.
Larry said, tell Coast he better damn say the word saga at least once.
Oh, the saga does continue. I'm about to make some shirts. On the low, the saga continues. I've been putting in people subliminal.
Larry is
clothes.
actually an artist and photographer
good friend of
from
ours.
New York
Okay.
City.
He's a good
yeah,
guy.
he's a
Okay.
good guy.
Yeah, he's like, you better
he
see
does
Saga at
shows
least
too.
once.
He
Okay.
does shows too. So yeah.
So look, Steve Cass, On 5, Tats Crew,
James Top.
Peso 131, Peso a graph artist too. We used to, when I was in high school, we used to wait for the number 2 train to go by to see what tag was on the train.
Right.
Because they used to tag like a whole
The whole
train
car?
or 2 or 3 trains. And we just wait and say, oh, look at that, super cool 223, and all that stuff. So we had very visible connections to the graffiti world at a very early age where they were our heroes.
Right.
They were our heroes. When we saw them on the train and everything, we said, man, I wonder who that guy is. So they were our superheroes at that time. And I wanted to share that with you, Coast, because that's how it was when I was in junior high school. At that time, when you guys on the train, you did a masterpiece on the train. And we just waited and looked, wait, let's wait for the 2 train. Oh, look at that one.
Look at whose piece, yeah.
Who was at the graffiti writers bench on 149th? That's where we always used to congregate.
I have a question about that. So, did y'all try to maintain being anonymous?
Absolutely. That's why I got the name Coast. I wouldn't put my real name, Anthony Feliciano.
Right. But I mean, like, even if you, you met another writer, and would y'all have that kind of anonymous vibe going on, or?
Pretty much, unless you got close to that person, then you would know their real name, unless they grew up in your neighborhood.
Not even their real name, but even if they did the tag. Like, let's say, my tag is Rock Logic, right? But you've never seen me before. And then we meet, at the bench or whatever, we just kind of chopping it up. Would you immediately go, oh, I'm Rock Logic 1, 2, 3? Or would it be kind of like you would get to know each other and then you would realize who that artist was?
It all depends on the energy, because sometimes, it could be the Vandal Detective, Vandal Squad.
Okay.
There was an infamous Vandal Squad called Hickey and Ski. Let me briefly tell you. 1983, I was 16 years old. I was destroying the 6 line. I was king of the 6 line on the insides. And they caught me anyway. I'm a real... Fast forward, they caught me one day in the layups. They came to my job. I got away from them. I slid down the pole on the Zurich Avenue layup. It was me, Bio, my best friend Vale, rest in peace. And they came to pick me up at my messenger job the next day. They gave me 15 days in jail, put me on the Daily News as one of the more prolific graffiti artists that year, 1983, at 16 years old, because that's how bad they wanted me.
right.
But, that's just part of the history of, who I am.
But I think it's important.
Newspaper article and everything.
So you guys were really like outlaws,
Yeah.
really. Like for the fact of the matter that they actually tracked you down at your job, right, to come and get you is like really like was there a task force that was kind of
It's the
assigned to
Vandal
this?
Squad.
Vandal Squad.
So I'll tell you how they knew who I was. We
Okay.
were in the layup that day. It was maybe 12 midnight. It was 3 of us, and we had the keys to the train, the skeleton key was to open the train. So we're in the train. It was dark. These guys were in front of me. They talking to some guys, and I said, "Who y'all talking to?" So I got up, and as soon as they get, "Don't run, Anthony," they said my first name. "Don't run, Anthony." Those are fucking cops. Run. So we got away from them that day, but they had knew who I was because they had called me motion tagging. So motion tagging is when you write graffiti during peak hours, during rush hour.
Right.
They caught me doing that one day, so they let me go, but they got my name. So when they saw me that day at the layup, and I told my friends that those were cops, run, they came to pick me up because they already had all my information.
All your information already.
So they caught me and took me from my job.
Yeah, see that? Yeah, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Come with us, Anthony.
Jesse James.
yeah, that's the story, baby. That's the joint. Like,
And then they wrote an article about him.
right in the newspaper,
Yeah.
like.
And what's funny is that my stuff is in the museum now. I'm
Yeah.
part of
Right.
the Martin One collection. I'm in several magazines. I've been
Go
on the
figure,
news.
see? See?
I'm just on the grind, man. I love this shit because when I did drugs, that was my passion, I guess.
Right.
I was in the grips of that, but now this is my passion and this is my addiction. This is my drug.
Right.
Instead of getting high, I go paint.
This is it, yeah.
That's right, that's
So what I'm gonna do right now, because my man GLOBE is in the house, I gotta play Globe's record, Keep Your Distance. So Globe, this one's for you. This is for your
Yay,
birthday.
Globe.
All right, I got
Happy
it for
birthday.
you, and I'm gonna play the
Happy
video.
birthday, Globe.
Word up! Happy birthday to my
Happy
man
birthday, man.
Globus.
Wear your mask. Stay home if you can. Wash your hands. Keep social distance.
I think the haters are perturbed. Kiss the bird.
In remembrance of all of the people that have perished, never forgetting it nearly isn't over yet. Live for the future, got no time for the public presence. Everything shifting, switching into another spin. And we're gonna win, we're taking it where it's never been. Please, you better believe it when you see it, cousin. Facing the danger, coming up with the game changer. All over the radar, doesn't matter who or where you are. Whether you're near or far, everybody's raising the bar. Cause I'ma hug you, it doesn't mean I don't love you. Rather be 6 from you than 6 under you. The king of pop said, you wanna be starting something? Flaming thunder, burning my mic like lumber. Give me the microphone and keep the flame coming. Invisible enemies are unseen. The war is won, not for the missile, not for the guns. We're getting closer and closer to Armageddon. Ultimate weapon, God bringing it down from heaven. Evil destruction, easy like the push of a button. In 95 front lines, nowhere to hide. Another epidemic crisis, new order, there's no way to fight this. Conspiracy theories, greed, technology, dark deeds, CDC, vaccines, 5G, the economy has no money, swabbing and robbing me at the corner pharmacy. Make history, recovering, starting, GLOBE, who's next after me?
And then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that?
United we stand, divided we fall, one for all. All for one, depopulation and radiation. Get ready for things never seen, never heard before. Get ready to ride until the wheels fall off. Public housing, the most vulnerable place to be. Unfortunately, this is only the beginning. Continuously tracing and testing. Quarantine, streaming music and movies. Alphabetically from A to World War Z. Chips, minerals, cryptocurrency will have a lasting effect on society. Mankind will survive the wrath of the beast. Don't be misled, you read what the Bible said. Got the worst of times to face up ahead. We're living the life of the walking dead. Or then ice without a dog or a sled. Don't be scared, everybody get prepared. Have no fear, stays in there. It's not all about you, we got things to do. It's not all about you, we got things to do.
You hear that clack, 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 clack? Yeah, I had to play that.
Yo,
Happy birthday, Globe. I had to play that for you.
Speaking about birthdays, you gave Renee a wonderful piece for her birthday.
Oh yes, I love Renee. Renee Mickens. I love her. So on December 23rd.
Yes.
We were at the Universal Hip Hop Museum, and we were having a little thing for Renee, and she did not know, but I decided I was gonna surprise her with a painting that I did, and I sat on this painting for a while.
Okay.
Like this painting took me over a year to do.
Wow.
Because when I started the painting, I was doing it. I did it for a show that was a live painting event out in Brooklyn with an up-and-coming rapper named Dip Trilla. His real name is Phil Murphy, and he also does like art and stuff like that with the Fearless Artist Group out in Brooklyn. So that might be somebody you want to hook up with. But he contacted me, and we did this show, and it rained that day. So as I was painting and doing the live event, the rain started coming down, and we didn't have tents. So it, washed away. It was washing away the painting as I was painting it. So obviously I had to, put it away, and I came back to it a couple months later, started reworking the painting and everything, and I happened to put it last year at the Kente Royal Gallery in Harlem. They invited me to do a show with them where it was for Women's Month in March for artist women, and I put it in that show, which that piece didn't sell, but another piece did.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? This piece I'm going to save this piece. I'm not going to put it in no more shows. I'm just going to save this piece because something was just telling me, you got to put it away for something else. So I listened to my intuition, and then that day, Renee was like, hey, come over here,
Right.
blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, something popped in my head. You know what? This is the time.
Okay.
So I popped up with the painting. It's called I Am a Goddess, and it has 3 different goddesses on there, but they don't have faces. And the reason why I didn't paint faces on them was because they're in their own creation. When you're feeling yourself, you're in your own creation. So you're gonna put whatever you want on yourself. You're gonna build yourself, you're gonna create yourself, and you're gonna create whatever face or
Right.
whatever being you want to be. So that's why I didn't put faces on there, because they're each creating whoever they want to be in their form of a goddess. So to me, Renee has been doing so many different things within the hip hop, with Hip Hop Boulevard, within her own business.
Talking to the mic.
Within her I'm sorry, within her own business and everything. So to me, she's creating herself, and she's learning within herself, and that's the knowledge that she's bringing. And so that, to me, I was like, you know what, this is her. This represents her, and so that's what I wanted to give her, and she was so
Yes, she
appreciative,
was.
so
Yes,
appreciative.
well deserved.
Well
Yeah, that
deserved.
was
Renee's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Well
Oh, wait.
deserved.
Oh, I'm not on that button. I'm not on that button. I was supposed to hit the claps. But that was the first day I met you guys,
Yes.
actually, because we presented it to her on the show That was the day we did the real discussion
The
at
live
the
stream.
museum.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
live
At the
stream.
museum.
Yeah, live stream. Yeah.
And I don't even think you guys were supposed to be on the show or whatever, but it was like you were there. I'm like, come on, let's do it. Like,
Yeah, it was like an impromptu thing
yeah,
that we
yeah,
were
yeah.
all there, and it was really cool. So we appreciate it.
yeah, it was a must-have. Al, you had a record you wanted me to play that I downloaded. What record is that? Do you want to
That's
talk
coming,
about that
That's
record?
coming from Kenneth Dorsey out of Las Vegas, and he had the Hip Hop Boulevard piece that he incorporated in Christian hip hop record.
Really?
Yeah,
And it's on this joint I'm about to play.
yeah.
All right, so right now, what's the title of the song? And I'm going to let it rip.
I don't know the title. I just got it today.
All right, what's the artist's name one more time?
Kenneth Dorsey.
Kenneth Dorsey. Does he have anything to do with Red Vegas and them out there? Or
A lot to do with them.
a lot to do with Red Vegas. Okay. All right, so we're going to let it rip.
I hustle for Christ, morning, noon, and night. I hustle for Christ. I walk by faith, not sight. I hustle for Christ, out speaking His word of life. I hustle to bring lost souls back to Christ. Automatic, hustle-matic when I hit the street on this hip-hop beat, spitting gospel heat. It's victory in Christ and never defeat. Speaking life to the people I meet and greet. I used to hustle on the street for drugs and clothes. As a born-again man, I'm hustling souls. I hustle for Christ. With all I got, I'm all in my soul. Can't be bought. I was taught by the word to stay humble. Just pick up the cross and never fumble. In this jungle of demons and devils, I never fail to excel on all levels. Spitting flames in the name above all names. I'm a warrior of Christ. I ain't playing no games. So serious for my vision, mission, and ambition to hustle for Christ under any condition. I hustle for Christ, morning, noon, and night. I hustle for Christ. I walk by faith, not sight. I hustle for Christ, out speaking His word of life. I hustle. On hip-hop boulevard, they feel the street beat mixed with the spiritual lyrical heat. They tap the beat and bob their head to the hustle-matic music and the scriptures read. Spit the gospel truth from this street book. Living proof on a mission to reach the youth with the good news of the Holy Bible. The only blueprint to my soul survival. The body of Christ tribal. Speaking life in Christ. Wherever I go, I got goals to save souls with tight clothes and leave the devil frozen in poles. I was chose to speak victory. It's no mystery. I'm making history in the street ministry. I spit fire to uplift the name of Jesus. Higher and higher, 'cause I hustle for Christ, morning, noon, and night. I hustle for Christ. I walk by faith, not sight. I hustle for Christ. I'm speaking His word of life. I hustle to bring lost souls back to Christ. I hustle.
Yeah, okay. So I think we know the title of the song now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I hustle for Christ. I got it. All right, cool. Yeah, no doubt. That is crazy. I love when artists send in music. You know what I'm saying? They send like new stuff that we can hear. I love that, and that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? My man GLOB says salute. Salute to that. Hashtag salute. He salutes that. So
Yo, man.
in the chat
this
room was
has been
good.
some kind of show, huh?
Yeah, no, it's been really good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we've definitely hit the hour, without a doubt. You know what I'm saying? And
we've only touched the surface.
yeah, it was kind of like, you know, I mean, you know, here's the deal. You know, you know me. You know what I'm saying? I got to run to go do something. Y'all can stay as long as you like. You can just lock up. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just got I got a meeting at the Dwyer Cultural Center in Harlem because we're doing a health event there. So we're having different insurance companies, kind of like what you do. Different insurance companies and health companies. We're having a health fair, and I'm doing a CPR expo there on I believe it's March 20-something. So I got to go have a meeting there with Vincent Davis. Yeah. With Vincent Davis.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He's got a really nice spot. You got to come see it. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice place to do events. It's an art gallery.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, it's
Very
actually an art
nice.
gallery. So they have a big art gallery. They just did an exhibit there last Wednesday. And he's got a theater. There's a theater in it. It's an art gallery, and then he has 2 what we call breakout rooms that you can do small seminars. So the place holds about 200 people in total. So it's pretty
Vincent Davis, Entertainment.
Entertainment, absolutely.
People, do your research. Google it.
So, yeah, we set up the sound system for Vince there. When he first took over the museum, things were a little in disarray. He calls me and says, "Yo, Rob, man, can you come in and do it?" And I said, "All right, I'll come in." And then me and Chinks, we went in there and we fixed everything and made it all work. So we're in charge of the production there. Any productions that go on, we engineer it. So I'm having my own production. We got some sponsors that came in with some money, so I can give Vince money. We're going to cater food and all that stuff. So it's going to be a pretty big event. You know, that's a big shout out to One Night Show. That's the One Night Show thing that we're doing. One Night Show's getting active. You know what I'm saying? One Night Show's getting active now. So
Christmas stuff was slamming.
Yeah. That's the thing we did. Yeah, right. Christmas
With Claudia.
With Claudia, we did that with Me Henry people, right? And I was Santa Claus in Washington Projects, and I had the whole thing on in a beard. And I got to tell you something, right? You don't ever want to play Santa Claus. I thought it was an easy job. That is the hardest fucking job of passing out gifts is nothing. You having to take pictures with like 200 kids. That's a job, right? Also, if you're going to be Santa Claus, make sure that they wrap the gift and you give it to them, right? Because if you give them the gift and they look at it and they don't want it, they hand it back to you.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep.
We was going through that. The little guy was like, "I don't want this." I was like, "Go look in the pile." He go look in the pile and then he grabbed something. And it's happened a couple of times. So I had to get slick on him, right? So as we're about to take the picture, I have him hand me the gift. Right, I go, "All right, you ready? Take the picture. 1, 2, 3. All right, hey, cheese, bomb. All right, you go. All right, go." And I push them out before they realize what they got for Christmas. And then, you had to make up stories and be like, "Well, I'm coming to your house to give you the gift that you wanted for Christmas. This is like a pre-gift right now. So if you could accept this, if you go," that shit was a lot of fucking work, bro. I slept all weekend after that.
Let me tell you, you thought you were slick. I'll be Santa Claus. I don't have to do nothing. I just smile and get gifts away.
I thought I could just chill. I was like, "This is going to be a chill." And then I even tried to get ahead of the curve. As they lined up, all the way to 2nd Avenue, people were lined up.
Oh, yeah, that line was crazy.
I went outside before they came to give the gifts and took pictures with everybody. I went on both sides. I said, "Good, got the pictures out the way." No, they want to take pictures inside while I'm sitting down. So I did double the work, man. That's a hard fucking job.
We were inside with Rock. He's taking pictures outside.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Santa Claus.
I didn't know. Big shout out to oh my God, what's my homegirl's name?
Claudia.
No, Claudia. But also Ada was the Grinch.
Yes.
Claudia was.
Oh man, her costume was awesome.
Yeah, right. As the Grinch.
Yeah.
She was the Grinch that stole Christmas. Claudia was an elf. Robin was Mrs. Claus. She was Mrs. Claus. She had the Mrs. Claus outfit. So we had a really good time, man. Matter of fact, we had a really active holiday season,
Yes.
really. We gave away the turkeys.
Yeah.
Right? Remember how?
Yeah.
We gave away like 200, 300 turkeys for Thanksgiving, and then we gave away, hundreds of toys for Christmas. So Bulwark Global Media, along
right.
with Me Gente Me People,
That's
along
beautiful.
with Hip Hop Boulevard, and The Real Discussion, we did a lot of work in the community this past holiday season.
Man, we
so.
killed it.
Killed
We
it.
killed it. This holiday, we were out there in the cold, whatever the case may be. We were out there doing what we had to do. A lot of smiling faces, and really helped a lot of different people. And this is what I'm talking about.
Because you did the toy drive. You had the toy drive that you did at the schools.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So
we could do so much more if we all
pulled together.
We could do so much more. This is going out to Switz Beast, LL, P. Diddy, to all you guys. Come on, man. Come to the table.
Yeah.
Come to the table.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we're literally in the streets doing this with no budget.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? With no money. Just no money. Like getting, donations. We got...
A lot of us are taking it out of our own money.
Right, absolutely.
To help them as well.
To help as well. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Hawk Entertainment.
Yeah.
They came in and they brought in 3 turkeys.
Yeah.
When I was doing the turkey drive. Remember when they came in now? I was like, I got a surprise for you. They came in with 3 huge turkeys.
I do want to say something about Hawks Entertainment.
Yeah.
Samuel and his wife, they've been very big supporters of myself and Coast, also with Hip Hop Boulevard. They've come out to our shows. They've they've recorded like our shows, our artist talks, and everything like that to put into their documentaries, and they've just been a really big supporter of us as well. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Absolutely.
And we appreciate you guys. I also wanted to say thank you to Boo Black, Eddie Rivera.
Absolutely, Eddie.
Nano Universal Management, and also Lazarus, because they've also hooked us up, with Al and with everybody. Like, we've just all been like intertwined and mixed together.
It's
just
the
trying
family.
to get things going.
Right.
So, you got the Hip Hop Boulevard family going, and we're,
La Cosa Nostra.
we're just getting it going.
This thing of ours.
This thing of ours, right?
This thing of ours. He's a friend of
means,
ours.
That's what it means.
That's the conversation.
Friend of yours.
Cosa Nostra, that means this thing of ours.
This thing of ours. That's it. This thing of ours that we're doing. And this year I'm going to fulfill another milestone, which is my plan is in June or July. We're going to put together a carnival. I want to do a street carnival with rides and everything on 2nd Avenue and get a permit to do that. And we'll have like Hip Hop Boulevard out there.
I got the perfect guy for you.
Oh, you got a perfect guy? That's what I want to do.
That would be
I want to
so
get a
cool.
permit and have 2 or 3 blocks of rides and fair shit. You know what I'm saying? The food and everything. So maybe we'll do that for Father's Day or something. But that's where I want to be with it this
awesome.
year. You know what I'm saying? I want Boardwalk Global Media to produce its own fair. You know what I'm saying? And that includes Hip Hop Boulevard. That includes the Real Discussion. That includes the Universal Hip Hop Museum.
Nice.
That includes everybody, and then we can kind of correlate that with the 50 years of hip hop.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can have a concert also.
Absolutely.
All right there on the street. You know what I'm saying? And have
Let's
like a
make
fair.
it happen, man.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. We're gonna do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. Stacey Cole says, "Yes, street carnival." Yes, that's what we're gonna do. We're going to do a street carnival, and we're going to get some performers to perform and everything.
We got to get MC Globe, GLOBE, out there to perform.
Come on, Globe's automatic, systematic, baby. Automatic. All right, so I'm going to punch out if y'all guys don't mind. Or you can keep going now. It's up to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I got some things to say.
Okay.
I'm on the 98.1 FM Urban Heat radio station now. That's an iHeart syndicated show. I started Thursday.
Talk about that.
I started Thursday, and it was incredible. I'm going to be doing the hip-hop news coming from New York and wherever I get it from. And I got a good group of people. I got to give a shout-out to Russell Sheets to hook me up with that. And that's every
So where do you actually
Thursday.
record it at?
Well, they're in Boston.
Okay.
And I just call in.
Oh, dope.
Yeah. And it was an incredible show this Thursday that passed.
Okay.
And next Thursday we're having Peso. It's going to
Nice.
be on the show next Thursday. And every week it's going to be somebody different and some more news. And let me get their names straight so that way I
Please do, and we'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
Gary
so
put it in the
DJ
chat.
Wade, Seth Lowe, who else? Excuse me, people. Supernova
Okay.
and C4.
All right,
Those
and
are the
that's-
hosts of the show.
And the name of the show is what?
It's called Urban Heat, 98.1 FM on iHeart.
See, this thing's expanding. I love this shit. You know what I'm saying? Dope.
And we got to talk about Nadine Mohammed Queen. I met with her, Steve Kaz, and Consuela on Friday night, and it was an awesome conversation talking about the synergy and what we could do together and all that. We're going to be supporting them with all of their events and the stuff that they're doing. Doing something very monumental. They got a great platform, and they're doing something that's going to blow everybody away. And Nadine, I didn't say anything about it. She said she got me watching right now.
Right.
But great organization, and this is what we have to do. We have to join forces in order for us to reach more people and do more. All right, enough of the whatever happened before the 50 years of all this stuff. Let's put our best foot forward and show what hip hop can really do this year.
Exactly. Listen, no organization or movement comes without friction and beef when you're young. You know what I'm saying? When you're young, you're ambitious, right? So there's going to be friction and beef. When you're young, you got testosterone, and you're not wise, and you don't see things the way that you see them when you're older. So, all that stuff that happened when we were younger was necessary to fuel this shit, really, truthfully. And now that we're all older, you know, it's time for a lot of us to let all that bullshit go and understand that there's a bigger picture, there's bigger light, and we are the keepers of that light. Because once we die off, we are the only generation that created this shit.
Yeah.
Once we die off, there's no one else that could go, I was there.
Yeah.
So we have to be the keepers of that, you know, the custodians of that until we close our eyes. So everybody got
to be the educators and
of
keep
it. That's
reaching out
right.
to the youth.
So everybody, you know what I'm saying? I love all y'all motherfuckers, but anybody's got any beef, you'll need to drop the beef, come together and get down like we need to get down. You know what I'm saying? Because this is not going to last forever, not for us.
And the soundtrack for the Sons and Daughters documentary that's coming up, everybody's turning in a track.
Sounds like I better turn the track.
So you got King Charlie Prince, you got Smiley, MC Smiley from the Mercedes Ladies, along with Baby D.
Okay.
You got Peso. Donald D even called in, gonna do a track.
Isn't Donald D in town now?
I believe he might be.
I think so.
That'd be nice. I haven't seen him in a long
Yeah,
time.
no, I haven't, because I think I saw last week or something like that on his page that he said that he was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and from Europe.
Yeah, but he might be in LA now.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. That's the Grammy. The Grammy. Yeah.
I also
I
want to
just see
shout
that
out Renee Minkins and Terry and Jeff that are doing the Hip Hop Boulevard Awards. They are mailing out the ballots, people. So you're gonna get a call from Terry. She's gonna ask for your address and then to mail the ballots. We're not doing an email. No, we're not there yet. Okay, you're not gonna get it on your text. No, that's not gonna happen. Yes, we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way. You're gonna get it mailed to you, fill it out, and remail it to Sal Vitello, who's gonna do the tally of the ballots, and we'll find out who the winners are and all that kind of stuff. So a big shout out to them. They're doing some hard work with that. And the project that we have with Lazarus and TNT is coming out really, really well. I just let people in the studio hear it. What do you think, Gary? What do you think about that track coming out?
It sounds good, bro.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's a hot track. I can't wait to hear the whole thing.
So Lazarus and TNT, if you're listening to what's happening right now, they just heard a little bit, right? They just heard a little bit. We got some plans. We got some things working. Right. This is, there's been so much growth in the last, I'd say 60 days. It's been unbelievable. It's been unbelievable. The community outreach has been awesome. I can't wait to see what Hip Hop Alliance does, what Humanity Coalition does, what the Universal Hip Hop Museum is going to do, what the National Hip Hop Museum in DC, what they're going to do. I mean, all the different organizations and everything, and how we all come together. And let's not forget that B-Boys is in the Olympics 2024.
Yes.
Look at that. From cardboard boxes in the park to the Olympic park. That is so crazy. B-boying is in the Olympics.
So
Who would have thought?
Did I miss anything?
You sound pretty solid.
That's it.
You sound like you
We're
did.
good until the next show. And Eddie Rivera, thank you so much for booking the show. We got to give a thank you for Eddie. He now officially starts booking the acts here for the show.
Good.
Very good, because we got a lot of stuff going on and we're getting very busy.
Okay.
So,
And happy birthday to Eddie. Eddie had a birthday like last week, I think.
Yeah.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday.
He had a birthday
Happy
party
birthday.
up in at Bobo's up in the
Yes.
Bronx,
A lot
right?
of super talent that I saw there.
Yeah. Melly Mel was there.
Great night.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great night.
Trey D. Man,
Yeah.
saw him perform for the first time that day.
Crazy, right?
Man.
Monster.
Great performance.
You know, I love a good performer.
Yeah.
I love a good performer. Because that means that you've been studying your craft. If you're a good performer, you've been rehearsing, you've been putting energy into that. Like, when you see a good performer, he didn't just walk up there and do that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He took time and crafted his show. And I just want to say that to other performers that I watch perform. You know, the reason why I think a lot of performers become self-absorbed on the fact that they're standing on the stage and, hey, I'm here. But you got to remember, you're there to entertain people, right? So as a performer, you got to figure out how to entertain them. Don't just get up there and do your song. You know what I'm saying? And even if you're going to do your song, have some energy. Let's put some flair into that shit. Like, let's do something. Like, make me feel you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry I missed him, but if you say he's a good performer, then I need to watch that. You know what I'm saying? Because I seen a few this summer. Even on the Hip Hop Boulevard.
Warriors.
Yeah.
They
Right.
had a track.
Crazy, right?
K.O. Rockwell, Jazzy G.
Yeah.
They were on the Wheels of Steel that day.
Okay.
So, and me, Jazzy J, and a couple of guys, we're going to be doing some with MS-224. Get ready.
Okay.
Get ready, because it's in the motion.
All right,
I
so-
thank everybody for being, for just watching and being on the chat room.
Thank you.
Chat's been real
Thank you,
nice, been active
everybody.
today. Absolutely. And I guess not next week, but the week after next, the conversation will be back.
That's the 19th?
That is,
I believe so. Hold
that
on.
is the 19th. Should be the 19th.
Hold on, give me a
We got
second.
Maria Davis this Monday, as usual, at 5 o'clock on Monday. And we have, drum roll, who do we have?
Oh, we have the control room on Thursday night.
Right, DOA in the control room on
And then
Thursday.
Friday.
And then, of course, the real discussion with
Awesome.
Rock Logic, Gary
That's
Fats.
right.
How about
Robin
Fast Feed?
Rodney
Anything
D.
with the Fast Feed situation?
Got to get in contact with him. Me and him need to connect because I know what he wants to do, and I'm interested in it. And please just let him know that I'm not ignoring him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For me, out of sight, out of mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm always, whatever's in my purview is what I'm doing. And, besides this, podcasting thing, I'm everything's happening at the same time. So just tell him, like, don't think that I'm not interested. You know
Let's
what
get
I mean?
it done.
Yeah,
Let's get it
that's
done.
kind of where I'm at. Like, all right, you want to do it? Just let's do it. Let's tell me a day, and then we're going to do that day. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what
Let's
it
get
is.
it done.
All right, that's the bet. I'll see you on the Hot
Thank you
Minute.
so much for
Thank
coming
you
here.
so much.
Coast, thank you.
Thanks for having us, man.
Thank you.
And the stories and stuff, man, incredible. Layla, thank you, right? Or did I say it right?
Thank
Leah
you.
or is it Layla?
Leia.
Leia.
Like Princess
Princess
Leia.
Leia. Absolutely. And you know what? I'm going to rock out with this joint right here.
Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, hip hop boulevard. Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop boulevard. Let's go. 1520 Cedric, the birthplace of hip hop was selected. The birth of hip hop was so electric, it shocked everybody like electric. DJs and MCs was injected, breakdancing graffiti was injected. Blocks and neighborhoods got infected and built this culture and style perfected. We crossed the line, mixed the race, being scared was replaced. Souls and crews made their moves, became street leaders, hip hop bleeders. We did it our way, flooded the air with every street wall and train. We made it our late, we made our place, through the grime and grace, with the neighborhoods, making money with the big face. Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop boulevard. Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop boulevard. Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop